Welcome to Church on the Net. It is the third week of Advent. So we are going to light the third candle. Here we go. Is it taken? Yeah. We're going to talk about joy. All this week, we're going to be talking about joy. And this one's going to be taken from Psalms 98, which says, "Make a joyful noise, all you nations." And I'm going to leave it right there because I think that's self-explanatory. It talks about the way that the earth is going to respond in joy to the Lord. And sometimes during this time of the year, that's a hard thing to do. But when you remember that Christmas isn't necessarily about family, I know people say that, and it's not about gifts per se, and it's not about ribbons and bows and decorations, although if you saw my house, Monica and my house, I go overboard probably, but that's okay. I learned from strong parents to go overboard with decorating for Christmas. But the real thing that we celebrate is the joy of the greatest gift of all, which is the Christ child, which nothing can match. I would choose to say this. I know that we can get lonely. This is the first Christmas without my mom, and although I didn't get to spend a whole lot of Christmases with her, a couple of them in her later years, we talked almost every day on the phone, if not every day. And if I didn't call her about every other day, she would start getting worried because I wanted to be able to spend time with her, and I saw where so many men didn't contact their family and didn't reach out to them. And Mom and I were good. We were close, so I wanted to spend as much time with her as I could, and I dreaded the phone call that when I would call her and she wasn't there. And the funny thing is, I still called her after I knew she was gone a couple times because just memory, or maybe I just wanted her to be there. But here's the thing. My joy has to be that she's in heaven with my dad and my brother, and that she's having a good time more than she was here, because she was lonely and she hurt and everything wasn't working right, and probably got that more and more as I get older and older. But real joy is a choice, and it comes from within. You can be in the worst circumstances, and trust me, I've been in the worst circumstances, from just 2 years ago being in the hospital thinking that they were going to amputate my foot, to dealing with bullying when I was younger, to being given a kind of like a sentence of being in a wheelchair when I was just a young guy, little boy. And you know what? From cancer to whatever, God is good, and He provides. From poverty to wealth, I've experienced a decent amount of both of them. It's not about the money. Joy isn't from the money. Joy isn't from how high you can get or how drunk you can get to drown your issues. Joy isn't from what you can appear to be on the outside. Joy comes from within. I think that the Lord picked for me the hardest, I'm not going to say worst, but the hardest ministry to do, because it can be fickle and people can be fickle. And I learned a long time ago that you have to choose joy and you have to choose love. Even when people are beating you up or are nasty to you, or you choose love, choose joy. So my question to you is, what are you choosing this season? We're in the last week before Christmas. Christmas is coming up next week. And man, I'm just going to choose joy. The tax has been high this past week. And I look at that kind of as a good thing, because if the devil wasn't attacking, if I wasn't struggling a little bit, not all the time, but a little bit, then he already knows he's got me. And there's no joy in that. So this Sunday we're starting Advent week 3. and it's about joy. What is the joy? The joy of the Lord is my strength. It will always be that way, because I have a group of incredible mighty men, and I have an incredible family. But there are moments when you're alone, by yourself, just you and the Lord. It's the way it should be, every now and then. And it's good to hear or know that as many problems as I have and as messed up as I can be, that He still whispers in my ear, "Thou good and faithful servant." And I can experience the joy that He brings every day of the year. Where's your joy at? Love you all. Have a great Sunday.